What's up, everybody, and welcome to Assemble Live. I am Matt. You guys are in the chat. That rhymed. I didn't mean to do that. That also rhymed. I'm stuck in a loop. That's okay. Thank you so much for coming to the show. If you are joining us here live on YouTube, youtube.com/assemble show, and we are talking all things WWE 2K22, and we are talking about WWE news, the latest happenings in the world of wrestling. We're doing this for the month of December through January, everybody, and we are doing this for the days of Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And then if you can't catch us here live over on youtube.com/assemble show, we will re-upload everything by the next morning, and you guys can chill out, grab a coffee, grab a tea, do whatever you got to do, and enjoy the show as we go. We stream here for about an hour, talking all things wrestling. Let's get into it. We're going to kick things off, well, with all of you. I want to say thank you. We have passed 6,000 subscribers on the channel, and it continues to climb. Thanks to all of you for the best community out there. Thank you so very much. I also want to say that we have brand new emotes that have just launched. They are live. So for anybody that is going to be channel members out there, I sincerely appreciate all of your support. We have brand new emotes that have been added in, and you guys get all the access to that as channel members, which is great. I'm really happy with them. Shout out to Johnny, who is my third guy. He is my man in the chair, who's done all of our graphic rework, redesign, even the background here, the overlays going on. It's got wrestling rings. It's got WWE, AEW logos on there. Absolutely love it. Let's get into the news. Brian Mazik has some words. WWE 2K22's roster will be bigger than many expect. I don't know about that one, everybody, but let's find out what Brian has to say. There are a number of questions about the WWE 2K22 roster, and with good reason. The WWE has jettisoned talent from its ranks, like the dominant version of Kane eliminating competitors during the Royal Rumble. That's clever. However, big however, I've had a series of conversations with people in the know, and it is very likely this year's roster will not be as barren as some fear. Interesting. Let's break down the factors, what to expect, and when things could get bad from a roster perspective. Contract terms, relationship, and roster deadlines, he says. So first, the inclusion of player or athlete likeness in sports or sports-themed games comes down to three factors: contract terms, relationships, and roster deadlines. First was the person under contract when the game was announced and when the roster details were submitted. Secondly, were they part of the initially submitted roster list that was approved by, in this case, the WWE? And if the answer to those questions is yes, even if the talent is no longer in the promotion, there is a great chance they will still be included in the game. The only way the two elements would be overruled is if the talent has an extremely broken relationship with the promotion. We're not talking about something simple like some cryptic social media message following a release. It would have to be sort of discord that is between CM Punk and WWE, whom I've been told by someone with strong connections to the situation will almost never be in a WWE game. Well, yeah, and he's also with a rival company as well, so there's those reasons. The article continues Brian says, who knows what will happen if the decision maker change, but as currently constructed, it would be more likely to see Tony Khan's special edition of version of 2K22 than Punk's likeness. Fair enough. I want to go back. Let's go down a little bit into this. He says that all that said, 2K fans should expect wrestlers like Adam Cole, Bray Wyatt, Gargano, Keith Lee, Jeff Hardy, Ruby Riott, Kyle O'Reilly, and some of the other top names who were released to be included in the roster. There's also a chance things could change, but for now, I'd expect at least 150 guys and girls. Question to all of you, I don't have this off the top of my head. What was the roster for 2K20? Was it 120? What's the 2K always touts that this is the biggest roster we've ever had and most impressive. But I forget what 2K20 was for the roster. Let me know. You'll also probably see annoying multiple versions of the same wrestlers counted as different characters when in actuality it should just be alternative tires. Okay. This doesn't make me happy. This piece drives me insane. I can't have 2K20 scenario again where I got 4 versions of Charlotte Flair on my screen, and it's 2018 Charlotte, 2019, 2020, 2022. I don't like that. I don't want 4 character slots of Becky Lynch. It drives me nuts. The Undertaker, Deadman, Tombstone. You know what? They didn't. No, they did that with Triple H too. I was going to say, they didn't do it with the game. I figured the game gets the most slots in any game ever. 238 people were in 2K20. Jeremiah, boom, shakalaka. NBA Jam. I don't like that. That's the thing I don't like, everybody. Fingers crossed Tegan and Casey make it. Yes, Serenity, Spider Monkey, I'm with you. Or Cassie, I should say. I want them in the game. I don't want the multiple versions though. That was a mistake. It takes up too much time. It's just put them in a bucket together. Put all the Charlotte Flairs in one shot. I don't like it. Brian continues the article to say that the model should be no new moveset. It doesn't count as an individual addition to the roster, but I digress. With some of the most recent release talent will be in the game, don't expect the likes of Cole or Lee to be featured in any promotion. Imagine Cole cutting a promo with AEW where he's saying, apparently I'm still in the straw that stirs the drink of my previous employer. Yeah. The WWE isn't about to tee itself up for that kind of blitz. So he then says that for 2K23 is the bigger question. While 2K22's roster is all but certain to be saved from talent pillage that the real-life product has undergone, the next version of the series isn't protected. WWE may need to get pretty creative if they want to have a roster anywhere close to the ones they delivered in the last few versions. Departed talent won't be under contract, and WWE will need to fill these slots with legends and up-and-coming talent, or others unless they want to endure the "they cut the roster in half" complaints. The primary focus is on 2K22, but fans should take note of what could be an interesting approach when it comes to the roster. So what do you guys think regarding the roster? I think that they're going to give us a lot. I don't think that a lot of those released talents are going to be gone. And I'm talking about the most recent crop of releases. I think that Adam Cole is probably out of the game. I got to say, it just depends on the cutoff date for when they have to submit everything. And if WWE really needs somebody out of the game. Like Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy is released, but he's moved to an alumni section with WWE. He's probably still in relatively good terms. I got to check the updates in the news, but I think Hardy will be in the game. I think Keith Lee might be in the game. I think there's a decent chance of that. It's really just speculating, but it's hard to say. Nia Jax, I flip a coin. I know that there's the crowds have her shirt on in there. I think that there's a good chance you see Nia Jax in the game. Again, I go back and say it depends on what the relationship status is. Messiah Brody, Scott Steiner, Umaga, Owen Hart, Jeff Jarrett, Sid Vicious. Trivial says, if 2K dropped the ball with this one, then they're scrapping the franchise. Yeah, then they have to go do something different. Or WWE gets a whole new developer. But I don't see them wanting to do that. It's kind of in this world of developers that can handle a sports franchise like that. I really feel like you're looking at EA or 2K. You could go with somebody outside of all of that, but to have a polished, AA, AAA experience, I say AA, but with a wrestling game for WWE, they've had that relationship forever. So I think that we would continue on with this. Unless something really, really changes or it goes south. Let's switch gear, but let me know, guys, what do you think regarding the roster? I'm not too concerned with it. I think somebody like Bray Wyatt is probably gone, out of the game. Braun Strowman, all those guys in those rounds of releases are probably out of there. It's going to be fascinating to see when we turn on the game and what do we get. In the future, I got to say that I think that we need to have... They would probably need to keep adding a lot more legends in the game to really round it out. We need to have a lot of the stars from the 80s and the 90s in that game to really round out the roster. And then you're getting the main stage talent that they have there. And make sure that everyone looks good and that the motion capture is really strong. So then everything looks okay. So yeah, let's talk to the chat here for a second. Just going back up, guys. Great to have you here, by the way. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you guys can support the show, if you're new here, welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt. You can see it by my stinking name that's at the top there. Talking WWE 2K22, and we're talking WWE news in general. Yeah, Immortal Glory Games. Yes, it is, but having multiple versions of somebody. There's some modes, too, that I still have a question about, everybody. Is are we going to see... for the creation suite, one thing that we don't have information on, are we going to get create a championship in the game? I don't know. There's another article that actually came, going to be the biggest WWE game till date, new features, superstars, and more. I'm just taking a look here. Let's take a look, guys. So coming over from essentiallysports.com, talking regarding 2K22, this piece of the article is talking about 2K brings a big WWE roster. WWE canceled 2K21 because of the pandemic. What? Who dat? Nicholas Tan just subscribed. Oh, thank you so much. That's amazing. Welcome to the show. I gotta move my chat box over. It was overlapping with that. There we go. Now everything in Matt's world is okay. To cancel because of the pandemic and low sales of its previous edition. Earlier, 2K20 got a moderate rating as the game had many bugs and glitches. That's an understatement. AEW promised a new version and better compatibility. The latest edition of 2K promises significant features and bigger roster. Since last year, WWE said superstars were released due to budget cuts, financial problems for the company. WWE released a set of superstars due to budget cuts and financial problems for the company. That's false. WWE's been more profitable now than ever. However, the WWE 2K series promises to provide most of the superstars from vintage to modern era. Although WWE has released many superstars, WWE will keep some of the superstars on 2K rosters. Okay, well, are you talking about anything new here? No, he's citing CM Punk again. Get it out of your head. The Punk's not going to be in the game. I want him in the AEW game. They're going to get him in the AEW game. They got him in the mobile game. They're going to get him in the AEW game. You're not going to see him in a 2K game. The new modes that they're talking about here. My factions, my rise, my GM. Okay, this has come up a lot too. And you missed universe mode. This man is silly man. He's missing universe mode. Different modes, my rise, my factions, my GM, and my end universe. It's in there. It provides stunning graphics with impressive different angles, increasing the game visuals. Yeah, different modes that I'm wondering under the creation suite. Are we going to get our create a championship and create a pay-per-view? Those have not been confirmed. And that's what I wonder. Will Jeff Hardy, Jonathan Allen, hi, good to see you, Jonathan. Will Jeff Hardy be in 2K22? More than likely, at this point, like we're crawling on January, and this announcement just happened. You'd have to yank him out of the game if they really wanted to. I apologize. This article was not my friend. I did not care for that. But yeah, I think stars like Hardy are going to be in the game. I think it's far too late for 2K to be like, we're going to change anything at this point. Matt, what do you think 2K will show in January? Jeremiah? I think that in January we get the cover star reveal. I think we get the release date confirmed. I think we get a little bit of a snippet teaser of Rey Mysterio's showcase, because I'm presuming he's also the cover star, maybe. And then I think that's about it. And then they start releasing, the weekly, semi-regular roster reveals. And they start really getting the ball rolling because they would be looking at a 8-ish week window until the launch, or the possible launch anyway. So I think that's just what I think. I don't think they're going to show us much more than that. They don't really need to. They need to show everyone, and including investors, that this game is coming out. So I think that in January, they say they got more information to reveal. Maybe they can do some good fan service too, though, by not just releasing one trailer for, say, showcase and the cover. Maybe they can do a little bit more for us and actually show us just more screenshots and just more snippets of the game. Excuse me. I don't think that's what they've done in the past. The 2K dev diaries have stopped. I don't think we're going to get any more of those. Maybe they are planning to release dev diaries, but at this point, fans don't really want the dev diaries. I think fans, in my opinion, want to see the game. They want to see my GM mode, and they want to see my rise. They want to see more of what the game has to offer. Show me a match. Show me an entrance. That's what I want. I miss the days when 2K used to do that, guys. When 2K would, and THQ and everybody else in the older days, I'd go on GameSpot and they'd have Triple H's entrance, and they'd have that, and I could see The Rock's entrance, and you'd get 6 or 7 entrances to be able to comb over. I miss those days. Do you think RVD will be and the Great Khali will be in the game? Very good chance, Travis. Yeah. I've had my money in the bank, but I've had money banked on RVD being like a pre-order bonus. Just because he was in, at the time, he was revealed to be in the Hall of Fame. And it's a big deal. And they've done some like, didn't they do like the documentary series thing on RVD as well, like the retrospective thing? They've done some ECW coverage. I think it would have made sense. I just don't know if it lines up right now for 2K. I think RVD would be a cool pre-order bonus though, if they actually used them there. Moral Glory Game says, could the March 22 still be a placeholder at this point? Could the game come out in February? It could. But if they've already said March, they've given themselves that time. I don't think that they would want to go ahead earlier. Like, if you've committed, if you've agreed with WWE and developers and stakeholders and everybody that we're going to do this in March, just got to narrow down the date. I don't think they're going to try to push themselves any harder to get this thing up. And why not? Why not? Why do that when you could give yourselves the extra maybe 3 weeks, right? Just to polish it or do some patches or anything like that. Bro, people like you are going to play the game early. Am I? No. I don't have access to anything. It'd be cool, wouldn't it? That'd be kind of fun. Let's talk about some WWE coverage. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out. Let's talk some wrestling, shall we? Oh my God, the advertisements are killing me today. On this day, I see clearly everything has come to life. Why am I getting ads? I have one of those things to stop it. Stop it. Matt Hardy, you know, Jeff Hardy got released. Do you think official date will be March 14th? I do. That was in different time zones. I think TGB, it will be around March 14th. That's my guess. Why is this happening? Drive me nuts. Get out of here. Oh my God, guys, I am sorry. I have blockers. I have these things. Blockers. Reload. I'm happy with this right now. Jeff Hardy was released from WWE yesterday, December 9th, at an event at the recent house show, with WWE offering him rehab. Obviously, Jeff's health and well-being comes before anything to do with professional wrestling. This is all coming from Wrestle Talk. Naturally, the thought of Jeff reuniting with his brother Matt outside of WWE came to fans' minds following Jeff's departure. Matt clearly feels the same way, as he took to Twitter earlier today to simply saying, "I feel extremely good about the future." I wonder about Jeff Hardy. So, this incident went down. Okay, I'm only speculating here, guys. I wonder. I don't really think this is true. I think that there was something that was wrong that happened, and Jeff has health issues. And it's all, I hope for the best in all aspects. Hope he gets well. Hope family happy. Everything. There's a small part of me with Matt Hardy saying that like, hey, I'm extremely hopeful. Is there a slight possibility Jeff did something because he wanted to get out of his contract, and the only way he knew how to get out of his contract was to kind of do something bad, and thus WWE released him, and then he goes over to AEW, do something else? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think that's really true. I just had that in my brain for a while. We'll see. I want Matt Hardy versus Willow. Yeah. There's some matches I really would like if he was going over to AEW. I would really, really care for that. Andrew Evans says Murphy won't be in the game, right? Hard to say, because everyone speculates that he was in the My Rise trailer with Seth Rollins on the top of the scaffolding thing. So we'll see. WWE has filed a trademark, everybody. Some non-news items for us. December 6th, WWE filed an application trademark for, quote, WWE The Build 2. The filing revealed that WWE intends to use the phrase for entertainment services, namely a show about pro wrestling. Well, go figure. It's WWE. WWE The Build 2 is a digital series that is used to showcase rivalries ahead of pay-per-views. The series premiered in October, focusing on King of the Ring, Queen's Crown tournament, and then Crown Jewel. And then it's talking about how they had the Becky Lynch Flair feud ahead of this. That's kind of cool. I'm glad that they're actually going to do more series. They need more content out there, frankly. They need to be doing a little bit more. I mean, the more good content we get out there is the better. One thing though, Ciampa Universal Champion 100%. I hope so, man. I want Ciampa on main roster. Gargano, I think O'Reilly is showing up at Winter is Coming. By the way, that's my prediction right now. We will do a full Winter is Coming preview, guys, and predictions. We will do a January or day one, WWE day one predictions as well. And all of that good stuff too. Let's talk about Tony Khan, the man, the myth, the legend. Tony Khan plans to remain active in signing AEW talent and teases more surprises. He's not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. AEW President Tony Khan has teased more surprises to come, noting that he plans to continue oversee the new AEW signings. A number of notable names that joined in 2021, guys. This is a list. Paul White, well, Big Show, Christian Cage, Mark Henry, CM Punk, Adam Cole, baby, boom, Bryan Danielson, and Jay Lethal. And he's probably not done. Speaking on My Mom's Basement with Robbie Fox, Khan indicated that fans will see more top wrestlers become all elite soon, noting there's more to come, surprises to come. I plan to still be active in signing great wrestlers, and I think it's a great time to be a fan. How many more guys is he going to get? Jeez. Oh boy. Following the November 4th wave of WWE releases, Khan stated that he was they did forget Ruby Soho as well in there. She was a notable talent that was signed on. Following the November 4th wave of releases, Khan stated that he was interested in a few names let go during these cuts. Talents with 30-day non-compete clauses, usually NXT contracts, released on this date, recently became free agents, and those with 90-day non-compete main roster contracts will officially leave WWE in February. Kevin Steen. It also has been rumored that Wyndham Rotunda, formerly known as Bray Wyatt, will eventually join AEW. However, Khan previously said that he hadn't had any formal meetings with Rotunda. Yeah, so they could just be talking shenanigans. Is Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens going to AEW? Let me know in the comments below, everybody, because I gotta believe, I gotta think that he's gone. Like, I think Owens is doing the good final move in WWE. He's working with Seth, Bob Lashley, Big E, and I think Owens is there to do a final rub to the other guys, get Big E over a little bit more too. He's just inserted in these matches. Like, he's just kind of there, isn't he? He's got no storyline. He's just involved in this multi-man title match. I think Owens is going to do that. I think he's going to get eliminated at the Rumble by maybe a surprise entrant or a younger name that they want to, Ballroom Dancer, what's up? And they want to actually promote or try to give a push to a younger star. I think Owens will end up getting eliminated in the Rumble, maybe fairly early on or midway through. And that'll be the end of Kevin Owens. The only thing I can see them doing for him specifically, because he's had such a long time with WWE, is he runs the short extension of his contract just to get through to the WrestleMania payday. That's the only thing I can see them doing with Steen. But then it's going to be several months before we see him be able to show up, presumably to show up in AEW due to his contract. But we will see about that. Looking over the chat with all you fantastic people. Zach's here, David's here, Shane. What is up? Perry Stark, my good man. How are you? Andrew Evans, way to go. Jeremiah is always here. Ballroom Dancer, happy to have you here. Way to go, guys. You guys are doing great tonight, I hope. One of you guys said it in here. I was just looking through the chat. David says Austin Theory wins the Rumble. Austin Theory is a interesting case, isn't he? Because he's getting this gigantic push by Vince McMahon. And from TV perspective, maybe it doesn't look that way, because he's just doing these backstage segments with Vince, but that's a hell of a rub for Austin Theory to, I mean, he was there in Thunderdome era for a minute, back to NXT, found way more character, and now he's called up and he's working with Vince on camera. Vince likes this boy. So I think Get Him Jones says, hey-oh, hey-oh. I think Austin Theory is going to the moon. If they can do things right with Austin Theory, in my opinion, in a year, you could maybe have him be the guy to take down Roman. They need somebody. I don't know who is going to just take down Roman Reigns with the title. And whether Roman drops it to Brock or not and then gets it back, Roman is the mountain, is the guy. It's not going to be a legend. So they need to build up somebody brand spanking new to take down Roman Reigns. You've moved Seth away. He's going to be over there on the Raw, so we know that it's not going to be those guys. Ciampa, like you guys are saying, like Larry says, Ciampa is taking him down. I'd love it to be Ciampa, but the way WWE seems to do things, I mean, Ciampa's interesting. He might just stay in NXT and be player coach, right? We're not too sure. Jeff could have been the guy. Yeah, like Vince and WWE always loved Jeff Hardy, right? And I always wanted to see when he came back with Matt, and then they kind of split off again into singles. I really wanted to see Jeff have a really good run. Like I miss when it was mid 2000s and Jeff had his run and he was going up against like Triple H on SmackDown for the title. That stuff was awesome. I just missed that they missed the boat there. But I do think that Austin Theory, get him in the ring, get the fans to get behind him, let him show his more of his like jokey side and humor, but allow him to like bring it in the ring. Fans can get behind him, and then they'll want him to be the man. Roman has to retire the belt. It's really cool to, like what they're doing with Roman. Like I know that it can get repetitive, but there is so much potential with and curiosity, I think, of like, what are they going to do with Roman? How are they going to do this? Austin loves the selfies. Yes, he does. Nightmare Messiah says, Assemble, who do you think will make the final roster? Oh, we'll have final roster predictions soon, my friend. All the current big names, basically. And I think up until Jeff, I think will be in the game. Basically right around Bray Wyatt release. From Bray Wyatt and before, I think they are not in the game. There's a chance that like Keith Lee might be in the game, but it depends. Jay Lethal on why he didn't join AEW when the promotion was starting up. I love Jay Lethal. I have been such a fan of him from days in TNA. I wish that he was in. I'm glad he's had a successful career. I wish he was in bigger promotions like WWE and started off in AEW. Lethal has reflected on his wrestling career, explaining why he didn't join the promotion 2019. It's crazy. The AEW's been going on for 2 years now. It's cool. Just looking at the chat too, guys. Lethal notably featured during All In 2018 event, often viewed as the precursor to AEW. Speaking on Talk is Jericho, Lethal revealed that he was offered the opportunity to become All Elite ahead of the promotion's official launch. Cool. Recalling ROH departures Young Bucks, Cody, Hangman, Lethal noted that he wanted to repay ROH for always looking after him, so he remained loyal to the promotion. That's cool. I'm not going to read the whole excerpt, but just the beginning here, guys. So Lethal says, quote, "That was a massive exodus of a good, solid group of people that were drawing the fans there. When this exodus, this massively leaving happened, my heart broke. This was also during a contract renegotiation time for me. An offer was made for me, and they extended the offer for me to say, hey, come with us to AEW. And I didn't take it, obviously, and here's why. Throughout my entire Ring of Honor career, it really feels like they've laid out the red carpet for not only me, but my family. They've always gone above and beyond, and I can't think of a single bad thing to say about them." Well, kudos for Jay Lethal. I mean, he's legendary, right? He's been around forever. I know you guys are in the chat. You're still talking about, do you think they'll put out do you think that they'll put out a 2K demo before recently releasing the game? No, I don't think that they would do a demo at this point. Like even a short little thing. I don't think they're going to want to do that. I think they'll just go down the path of just doing the full regular releases like everything else. It'd be cool though if they did like a kind of the 2K, well, I was going to say the EA model where it's like early release, early access thing. But we'll see. Yeah, kudos for Jay Lethal. Always doing good work. I'm glad that he is making his way to AEW. It's really, really cool. Oh boy, let's talk ratings, guys. I'm always like a little bit of a nerd junkie little thing with the ratings about what's going on in the world of wrestling. But if you guys can, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, become channel members as well. I got brand new emotes. They're all wrestling related. They're super fun. I wonder if I can even put these custom emotes in there. Oh, I can. I can put in a little hype guy. Look at that. I got a little get hype. Look at that. You can also get an emote as my face. You can get the champ, which is fun. You can get modern Assemble logo for becoming new members, and the chair. Let's get the chair because it's fun. So become channel members. You get funny emotes, blastos in the chat, all the good stuff. Let's take a look over at the overnight ratings and the Raw rating. What are you guys saying? Raw ratings are better than the SmackDown ratings? And Ballroom Death says, Assemble, who would you create in your first 2K22? I always create myself to test the create superstar mode. I often just go to the downloads and I just download the current creations because I suck at doing custom creations. This year, though, Ballroom Dancer, I will be taking my time to create Matt. We talked about this the other day. I don't know what to name my superstar. Call him Assemble, but I want the faction to be called Assemble. And in that faction is whatever I am going to be in the game. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try real hard. I'm just not that creative when it comes to that stuff. I need inspiration. We'll see. Overnight viewerships are in, guys, for December 10th edition of SmackDown. I don't think I watched all of SmackDown the other day. It was yesterday. Jeez. As per Brandon Thurston on WrestleNomics, the preliminary... Who was in the show? What was the... Xia Li. I watched the Xia Li entrance, and like, that was cool. They made her like a video game character, like a Tekken. It's cool. As per Brandon Thurston's WrestleNomics, the preliminary viewership figures for Friday's SmackDown were 2.172 million. This was the highest preliminary figure for SmackDown since September. Thurston used these figures and previous differences between prelim and final ratings to project that the final number of the show will be roughly 2.3 million total viewers. That's pretty cool. For comparison, say, hey, Mitten Patel, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. For comparison, the final viewership of last week's December 3rd was 2.0 total viewers, which was down from the 2.149 million who turned in November 26. Friday's episode, The New Day defeated the SmackDown Tag Champs, the Usos, and RK-Bro to be crowned the best tag team in WWE. Like, it's a random SmackDown, hey? We have a draft. Vince just is like, no, just throw all the tag teams in. And it's like, he puts the 3 tag teams in. Here's what I don't get. Let's pause here for a second. Because I want to know about you guys what you thought about Xia Li and a little bit more SmackDown. You got the tag team division in WWE. It drives me nuts. There's so much talent. They don't do squat with their tag division. Maybe I'm wrong. But you got Raw and SmackDown tag champs. I don't understand why. But you got the draft, and that's why. Viking Raiders, they're just around doing nothing. You got so much guy. You just got so much talent. Street Profits are just hanging out doing nothing. Should break them up. Montez Ford should go solo, but that's just me. RK-Bro dominates Raw, and they're funny and they're very entertaining, but they have no teams. AJ and Amos are about to break up. That's going to happen, probably at the Rumble. Like, there's no teams. Why not unify the tag titles? You just had a match on SmackDown with the 3 tag teams that you care about, 2 of which are on SmackDown. Why wouldn't you just fold the divisions and just say, all right, tag team wrestling, we're going to have the Universal Tag Team Champions. It would make sense because then you have universal titles for tag. And universal meaning go anywhere across board brands. So why not just do universal tag team titles, and then you can have the Usos take on RK-Bro. That way you could have some overlap with the Bloodline. You could get the Usos and Randy Orton and what's his name, Riddle, go in battle against the Usos. You can sprinkle in Roman Reigns in there a little bit. So you can have little teases of Riddle and Roman. There's a lot of cool stuff you could do. Hades World says, man, I definitely like your channel. You do? Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm just saying, the tag division, the hell. Like just merge it, man. Just make it one. Just do one thing. That's all I gotta do. It'd be fun. Toni Storm also earned a future shot at SmackDown Tag Team Championship after defeating Charlotte. What? Toni Storm also earned a future shot at the SmackDown Tag Championship after defeating Charlotte Flair via DQ in a championship contender match. That's a typo, right? Did I miss something, guys? She got a future shot at the SmackDown Women's Championship. Because the tag titles for the women also. Like, who is it? Who? Oh yeah, it's on, what's Carmella and Vega? They're the tag champs? What division is out there? It's nuts. What division is there? There is no women's tag division. It drives me insane. Zach says, I like your video. I like that you're here too, Zach. Hanging out. You guys are great. Get rid of those belts, man. SmackDown Women's Championship. Yeah, the tag division needs to serious work. It does. Like, it's just nuts. None of it works. This is what I really like about AEW, is that they put effort into making sure that the titles are shown and showcased. Not always effectively, but their tag division, they at least show the tag division. They got one set of titles, and they go across different shows, and they're defended, and they matter, and people want to become tag champs. Oh, it's so very, very annoying. Thank you guys so much for being here, hanging out, talking to Matt, doing all the good stuff. Did you see the new My Rise news? No. What happened? What's up with My Rise? I know Smack Talks did an episode on it today, and I didn't watch it. He says he's got new details on My Rise. What's up with the damn Velcro? Oh, the straps. I was like, what? I don't have Velcro in here. Yeah, the title straps. They even make it like a... But Sean, what's up? I want to smash Vince in the game. I do too. And give him a big old stunner. Give him a big old power bomb. What's the My Rise news? You can't titillate me like this and then be like, there's news. We'll see. I'm looking at the news. Early PEG rating seems to confirm 2K22 will contain loot boxes. What? Yeah, I watched Smack Talk's video. That's how I found out about it. Well, I was going to look at Smack Talk's video. I didn't get a chance to. And then I would do a show on it on Monday. Matt's got only too much brain power and ability to do things in a one-man show over here. Let's go. Let's talk about some early PEGI ratings. Peggy 16. Peggy 13. Let's talk about Peggy 13. Ratings seem to confirm that 2K22 will contain loot boxes. Oh, My Rise is more like Road to WrestleMania. That's what I clicked on that. I was watching like a minute of Smack Talks today, guys. You're right, Ballroom Dancer. Yeah, we'll probably do a video follow-up, guys, talking about that on Monday, as well as this, potentially. Let's see. I haven't read this. This is breaking news. You guys get to join me. Do this together. Let's go, Zach. Come on. Sit in the chair next to me. Vishon, you're right here, guys. Let's go. An early PEGI rating hints that 2K22 may include loot boxes or similar gambling mechanics, which could be disappointing for fans. Yeah, we know about the virtual currency. We were told that it's only going to be virtual currency in the live actions. 2K Series Wrestling is inherently situation being yearly. Where is it? An early PEGI rating for 2K22 seems to imply that the game will include in-game purchases. Unsurprising to the series, but the includes random items tag is worrying if it is correct. 2K Sports previously mentioned that players will be able to buy cosmetics items without randomization for fixed prices. Whether the random items descriptor means 2K Sports is going back on its word, separating loot box items and regular purchasable items, or is completely incorrect is unclear. Okay. If this is true, it also makes the future of the game sales unclear, as a UK government committee has been pushing for banning loot boxes for minors and especially exploitable audience since 2019. Loot boxes themselves, scrolling through here a little bit, loot boxes themselves have been banned in several countries, and other countries reforming game ratings systems to add warnings. The possibility of 2K22 including loot boxes may be disappointing news to WWE fans, but the news remains as yet unconfirmed by 2K Sports or Visual Concepts. The possibility remains the fan pushback to have an effect on this decision. Unfortunately, 2K's previous experience with loot boxes makes it unlikely the company will listen. It is difficult to expect a change of stance in the company asks fans to help with loot boxes banned by the government. Will loot boxes be in the game, guys? There's the question to you. I don't know if they are there will be randomized in-game elements, I think, in the game. There will be microtransaction virtual currency utilized in the game, and that is confirmed by 2K. So they've got to at least put it in there, right? That, look, we have our in-game currency that people can utilize, take real money, buy virtual currency, and then buy items in the game for their My Factions, potentially in GM mode to get more contract currency. If it is then to use maybe the in-game currency to then buy randomized loot crates in there too, to put them towards there. Like if you had $5, can you get randomized creation suite gear? I don't know. We'll have to see. But what do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get loot boxes in the game? I think that if they have, I don't think it necessarily means that we're going to get loot boxes in the game. If we did, that'd be a little scary. Zach says it would be cool if they were in 2K22. Okay. Yeah, but like Chucky Doll is like, it's stupid to use real money to unlock people in the game. I totally agree. If they put superstars behind a paywall, that's no bueno. That is not good business in my opinion. I think Shane says, like, I doubt it, but virtual currency might be more than just My Rise. I don't know. One of the spokespersons from 2K did say that, you know, confirmed that virtual currency is only used in My Rise in that version. So we'll see. Do you think Baron Blade will be in 2K22? God, I hope not. I don't want any of that stuff. If it's called Universe Mode, if you're fighting the whole time, I know. The way career mode is described is that it'll be 10 times better than 2K20. I kind of hated the one because of the little kiddish. Yeah, if they make it more Road to WrestleMania, I'm all for it. The loot boxes has me concerned. I think it would have anybody concerned, but also because different governments are also out there trying to put a very, very big stop to having loot boxes in games. Now, that doesn't stop companies from just rebranding it and changing it to being something different, but having the same outcome and the same result. I mean, yeah, it's tricky. They could do things like a battle pass or a season pass with 2K22. We'll have to see. I will be looking at Smack Talk's discussion of the Road to WrestleMania option. If we do get a Road to WrestleMania, or that's basically what the My Rise mode is or will be, that's really cool, and I'd be very excited to have a My Rise built in there. That'd be really, really awesome. I am just looking at the stream here, guys. I'm just in my settings doodad. And there's 146 concurrent viewers. Jeez, guys. There's so many of you in here. Well, welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt. Good to see you. Good to have you here on a Saturday evening talking wrestling, talking 2K22, which is always fun for me. If you guys are new, become channel members. Hit those fun little emotes. Give me some hype. I put the hype in the chat. I hit the hype button because it's hype all the time here. We keep things going. We keep it going. Her whole Immortal Games. What are you talking about? Are you talking nasty in my chat? I'm just kidding. And if you guys are new to the show and you're here and you're like, what is this man-child talking about on my screen here I have in the background? You say this man-child is talking about WWE, 2K, AEW 3 times a week. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up mostly. And when you watch the content on Assemble, you watch it for more than 3 minutes. Because you know why? Gets this pushed out in the algorithm and then more people can watch it and Matt can stay employed in his hole. That's what she said. Let's go. Let's talk about Cody Rhodes shares updates on the gruesome injuries. Did you see Cody's body after that table spot. Also, why did Cody Rhodes have to show up on Dynamite the following week? He didn't sell the injuries. It did look bad. It looked real nasty. Cody Rhodes has shared some gruesome photos on his back just the first week he faced Andrade and Idolo. You need to find a Funko taker. I don't want to take him out. He's got Batista and he's got Stone Cold Steve Austin next to him. He's like sandwiched in the middle. I'd take out the dead man, but I'm afraid he's going to fall over. Pile driver. He's going to fall over like in his match against Goldberg in Saudi Arabia. Tombstone, pile driver, fell over. Choke slam, didn't work. On December 1st edition of AEW Dynamite, Rhodes pinned Andrade when they did an inverted suplex and he went through the table. And here you go. I don't want it. Okay, let's see. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Look at that neck tattoo. Oh, it's just terrible. Look at the tattoo. Cody's neck tattoo. Those marks, that's seriously gross. That's enough. That's enough. I don't like that. That gives me the wiggles. I don't care for that. Good for Cody doing a big spot like that on Dynamite. I really wish that Rampage was a lot more entertaining. Yeah, Nicholas, it's good. It's not good. That looked painful. I apologize for anybody that feels offended by that. I don't want to show that. That's not nice. Talk about a pizza on your back. Yeah, or seriously. Neck tattoo. I really wish that Rampage would do more. I wish that Rampage was a little bit... had more to it. More substance. I think it's just the time slot. To me, it's just the time slot is killing this thing. Emilio, I have a YouTube channel. Well, that's great, Emilio. Good for you. Work hard. I hope, Rampage does a lot more. I think that time slot just destroys them. Doesn't do anybody any favors. It's so late. You can't watch it live. However, I was reading a report that Rampage's numbers are... I wish I could find it. The numbers for Rampage or anything or TBS is happy about the results for Rampage because they are still getting between 400,000 and 500,000 viewers on an episode of Rampage. And you got to remember that time slot is bad, and they got to go up against other sports like hockey, baseball, whatever is going on during the season. They can't have it on competing time slots. So when we talk about like, hey, move Rampage up to a different time, Tony Khan has said in the interviews too that those time slots are not available. So this is what was available to him, so he grabbed it. But if they're still getting between 400,000 and 500,000 viewers on an episode of Rampage in a really crappy time slot, late at night on a Friday after SmackDown, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. They also said, and again, sorry guys, I wish I had the article in front of me. There was an article that did say how the DVR numbers for Rampage are actually very good, so that people are not necessarily catching the show live, but they are DVRing it. They are recording it, and they are watching it after the fact, which is really cool. That keeps Rampage alive, and it keeps us going. And it's just all good stuff. Let's talk about... Someone just mentioned Hook in the comments. Let's talk about Hook. AEW roster is static over Hook debut. Hook made his AEW debut last night on Rampage with a victory over Fuego del Sol. This is from Fightful Select through Wrestle Talk. Fightful Select reports that it has provided some additional details on Hook's debut. Fightful notes that it originally did not appear as if Hook was going to get into wrestling, despite knowing a lot and respecting the business. Based on the words of people that Fightful spoke to, it apparently became evident during Hook's first training session that he was going to get it. Hook has been training nonstop with the Creative Pro Wrestling alongside QT Marshall, as well as receiving some early help from NJF. Various members of the AEW roster are hyped Various members of the AEW roster hyped Hook up to Fightful in the weeks prior to his debut and followed up last night saying they were ecstatic about how his debut went. Well, that's great. I hope it works out. Fresh talent, new talent in AEW. It's a good thing. I said this on the show the other day though too, everybody. I hope that AEW does like a TV title or something for like Dark and Elevation. I want them to be able to get something because it's proving harder and harder for different stars to get TV time. Like, you've really only got 3 hours of like primetime TV. You've got Dynamite on Wednesday, which is the show, and then you've got Rampage, which they try to hype when they get something like CM Punk, or they get Adam Cole on the show, or they get Hook debuting. They do things like that to really push Rampage and push viewers over to Rampage, which is great. I just think that makes it really hard for when they're trying to get fresh talent, like under that they have homegrown talent that is in basically dark and doing dark matches every week, and to get them onto the main show, I feel like it's going to be a lot harder. But that's why what AEW does a really good job of that I like is that they do factions a lot of the time. And when they do factions, that can give guys that are relatively unknown and give them, you know, a little bit more shine. Get them on the show too, which I think is really cool. What are you guys talking about in the chat? No, they have Hook for the Rampage. Yes, they do. Y2J got injured. He was hospitalized. Is Jericho going back to WWE? Maybe in a couple of years. Chris Danger, will he be in 2K22? Maybe. Maybe he's going to be playable. That'd be cool. Sorry, Matt, I have to go now with a battery design. Oh, okay. Oh, Perry Starks, good to see you. Good to have you. Thanks for being here. Mox updates? No, I don't have any updates when it comes to Jon Moxley yet. We are waiting and wishing for more. Jericho just did a video revealing that his doctors advised him not to sing due to his medical condition, but he's out of the hospital now, which is great news. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much all the news that we have for today when it comes to WWE. The only other thing, and 2K22, we will do a full in-depth episode. We'll take a look at Smack Talks' episode talking about Road to WrestleMania and My Rise and how all that kind of mashes together, and then we can kind of follow up on our Tuesday stream together and see what's happening there. We don't have a confirmed cover star yet. We all thought it was going to be Rey Mysterio. It still could be, but we'll have to wait and see. But I do want to check out, what is it? Xia Li debut. Where is it? The last thing I did want to just mention here was just shout out to Xia Li, because that entrance was cool, with special effects for her entrance. Way to go WWE for hyping up a talent, a great talent, giving them build a video package, and then revealing them with some cool lightning and special effects. You make them feel like a big star and a big deal. This is the only hope that I have with WWE when they've gone through unfortunate releases across the board with stars, that they're more careful. Sergio, hi. They're more careful and more deliberate with their reveals and new talent or newer talent making their debuts. On main roster, I really hope that WWE does this more often. Now, you can have a great reveal and all of that. We've seen this time and time and time again. Big pop, big reveal, big showcase. In 3 weeks, is she just going to be in a tag with Toni Storm or Natalya? That's always the concern, right? What are you going to do with these talents? I worry all the time that we get these great talents that come in and then they're just relegated, especially on the women's side. They do this more often than not. And then they're relegated to a tag team. And we don't want that. We want them to succeed. We want them to do awesome. Go for titles. They need a mid-card title in WWE women's division, but that's the whole thing. But Xia Li made her debut. The Protector, Xia Li, has arrived on SmackDown, and most of the feedback is positive so far. I agree. I thought it was really cool. It was really cool to bring in new talent in there into the mix. Yeah, and she's on SmackDown, which is really cool. Freshens up the division a little bit more. I'm excited to see what Xia Li will do. But that was really, really cool. Wall Carl subscribed. Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Yeah, Xia Li was awesome. Yeah, Toni Storm deserves a push, like a real one. This is a similar thing, though. Like, they have Charlotte Flair built up like Roman, where it's like, who's going to take her down? Who's going to get the title off of her? And then she's just going to get it back later on, again and again and again. Tony Storm's really cool. It'd be great if she got a real push, like you guys are saying in the chat. I just worry that they're trying to build up Tony Storm, and then she can't beat Charlotte. So then it's like, okay, then what? What do you do the next week? When Tony Storm, if she loses to Charlotte, what are you going to do? Old Walking Shoes Senior just subscribed. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. CM Punk one. I wonder what you're going to do with a Tony Storm if she inevitably loses to Charlotte, because then where do you go? This is why I keep going back and saying, like, why can't WWE just be like, hey, let's get Eric Craig Miller. Hi. Why can't you get a mid-card title? Why can't you get a women's mid-card title? Or have the Raw and SmackDown women's titles stay. Those become the mid-card titles, and you have one WWE Women's Universal Championship. The top of the top women's title. That is co-branded. That's just me fantasy booking. They could introduce a Intercontinental Women's Championship or whatever you want to call it. You could have the USA Network title. You could have the Fox title. Rare. But you could do that. But I think they need a mid-card women's title. The women's division in general on WWE programming is massive. And you have Becky and Charlotte at the very top. And it's like they only do one star in the mix at a time when they feud. And I miss when WWE really doesn't do this that often anymore. Like, they're doing it kind of right now with Big E and getting into like a fatal 4-way leading up into like the Rumble or day one. But we don't have like multi-person feuds going on that often. Xia Li got introduced into this, and it feels like she's mixing it up with Natalya and Naomi and all this, but is she really? They're not going after Charlotte, so it's a mid-card one. Like, I miss when they could do, like, if it would be Charlotte and Toni Storm and Xia Li and Naomi all, like, jockeying to get number one contender spots and battling it out basically in the championship scene. If they're not doing that because they have so much talent, don't get a tag team division, put them in a mid-card title. I'd like to see like a Universal Women's Championship, the Undisputed World Women's Champion. See, there you go, Mortal Games. That's what we're talking about. Love to see all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up here. It is 10:15 Eastern. As Eternal just subscribed. Guys, you guys are awesome. Seriously, you're making my day. I really enjoy doing the streams. Let me know in the comments if you guys are having a good time, if you enjoy our streams here, because we're doing them 3 times a week. I'm basically beta testing all of you. That's what Matt's doing. Haha, you're in a test. But I'm testing out to see how all of this goes. If you enjoy doing the live streams with me, so far, I'm having a really good time. I enjoy it. I like keeping them to just like around an hour. We chill out, we talk some wrestling, all of that stuff. If you guys are enjoying the stream, sincerely appreciate it. You guys are subscribing and hanging out and chatting. You're positive, you're optimistic, and you're doing good stuff, and that's the important thing. We all have a good time here hanging out. But yeah, we're testing out the streams for the next month to see how they are, if we're enjoying it, if Matt's enjoying it. I got everything kind of rebranded and redone, which is really, really awesome. Breathe some new life in here, and yeah, getting used to streaming. I really enjoy doing it because we can supplement the content too, right? We can do things like we can stream 3 times a week, and then when we're not streaming, then I love doing the like produced shows that you guys kind of know the show to be, covering things like 2K and wrestling news. So this allows us to talk a little bit more about like follow up on topics of 2K22 that come out, where I can't get it out in like a 5-6 minute episode. We want to just kind of banter about it, or we talk about the latest wrestling news. So it's a nice little breather to be able to chat a little bit more. But yeah, sincerely, guys, I appreciate it. Sergio, you subscribed. Thank you. I'll give you an Orange Cassidy fist bump. There you go. There's your fist bump. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out. We've had almost 100 people coming in, saying hi, chilling in the chat. If you guys enjoy this, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, we are streaming things on 2K22, WWE, AEW, and when the game releases, we will be doing GM Mode, My Rise, all of that stuff. I'll stream gameplay. We'll hang out. We'll do all of that. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you a dime. Help support the show. Watch the shows. Watch them long. Have some fun. Enjoy a good laugh or two. Thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned for Monday. New episode on the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. See ya!